Check this out.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Countdown is go at T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. Here's your host, Tim Scott.
Hey everybody, yes, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is the gateway to the magic. ResortLoop.com. You just heard the announcer. I don't know why I'm repeating what he says, but it's what I do. Guys, this is the DVC Roundtable, and for the first time in a while, we have a full table. I'm very excited. Everybody's doing their little dances. There we go. There's the screams. Joining us on the show, Rebecca Toon.
Hey, howdy, hey. It's so good to be back. I can't tell you how much I have missed these faces that I'm looking at right now.
Oh, same here. Also, Miss Emily Hansa Hicks.
Well, hello, everyone. And Rebecca, the feeling is mutual, of course.
Absolutely. And of course, that takes us to Mr. Brad Coates.
Greetings, Earthlings. Good to see the full house for once.
I know, this is fantastic.
The last couple months, it's always one or the other gone, so it's good to be back.
How dare all you guys have lives. And then rounding out the round table, of course, Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
Tim, what's going on, brother? It's good to have, it's like a family reunion tonight. But it's been crazy. Everybody's got real life going on outside of the round table. It's absolutely nuts, but it's nice to sit here on like an actual like Zoom call and do this and actually have fun doing a video call. I'm not like sitting in a meeting like, we do every day. So right. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be back with everybody here. And let's talk some DVC stuff. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, this is going to be like an old school type show where we actually have some stories. This is wonderful.
Love to see the world getting back together.
Oh, it's fantastic. Before we start the show, I want to send Resort Loop's best out to a longtime friend of the show, Mr. Gary Zurelli. Gary goes back to almost as far as Joe Quattrochi goes as far as being a fan of the show. Gary's got some issues he's dealing with. Gary, we're sending you our best. We're sure everything's going to go fine, but we just want to send our prayers, thoughts, pixie dust, and a little bit of magic your way. So, Gary, thanks for joining us, listening to the show.
Hang in there, Gary.
Absolutely, brother.
Send in tequila, Gary.
I'm drinking it with you.
There you go. When in doubt, drink some tequila. Anyway, this takes us to some DVC Roundtable stories for April 2022. Starting us off with the news stories, I believe he's got a vested interest. He's a little angry about this one, I do believe, Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
Are we going to Joe Quattrochi's soapbox?
I think so.
I'm going to behave my guys, I promise. But I'm not. Listen, I've been very adamant about this. I'm not too happy about this, but we'll be very positive. This is ResortLoop.com. This is the gateway to the magic.
True.
So we will be very positive. So first story is that Disney Vacation Club has announced proposed plans to develop new Disney Vacation Club villas at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Yes, we all know where this is going to go. Bill Dickerson, who's the senior vice president and general manager of the Disney Vacation Club, said, "It's no secret that our members and guests love the monorail resorts at Walt Disney World. Expanding our Disney Vacation Club offerings at the Polynesian would give our members and guests yet another incredible option for staying close to the magic while making vacation memories that last a lifetime. The new villas are inspired by the early design concepts of the Polynesian Village Resort." Reflections. Projected to open in late 2024, the new property would complement the existing resort and evoke the spirit of the Pacific Islands. Okay. I have some thoughts about that. The new building would offer additional rooms, recreation offerings, and new dining options. So if, listen, Looper Nation is smart. Everybody pays attention to what's going on. We all know where this is going. You don't know what's going on. This is going to be going where the Spirit of Aloha dinner show is. It's that section of Polynesian Beach that connects the Grand Floridian, like the wedding pavilion, and the very western part of the Polynesian Village. It's that beautiful beach that we all talk about that's really chill. You can lay back, sit on a swing. It's always that sand that's never touched. Beautiful area. Well, they want to stick essentially reflections in that area. There are a lot of people that, if you're on Disney's social media and all that stuff, that are like super excited about it. Look, I don't have a problem with building more DVC rooms. I think there's a place for it. I know the Polynesian, I have friends that, need the 1-bedroom villas, and the Polynesian doesn't offer that. They either go studios or the grand villas out in the bungalows. So this may fix that need for you to stay at the Polynesian. But my biggest gripe is I'm sad to see Spirit of Aloha go. I am, Tim. I like the show. It wasn't like a hoop-de-doo favorite, but it was good. It was serviceable. Luau Co's been there since like day one, man. I remember going to church there back in the day. They used to have mass there of all denominations there on Sunday mornings or Saturdays. But my theory is just with the design, and many blogs have talked about this. This does not look like it fits in at all. It's going to ruin the skyline. If they would come out with something that maybe looked like the existing longhouses, I can get behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want, everything's a tower now. I'm using this in quotes. Everything's a tower. You know, listen, the only tower is a contemporary, right? That's the only tower, right? But you got the Coronado Tower, you got the Riviera Tower, everything's a tower now. So you want to build a tower over there, fine. Make it look like the Great Ceremonial House, but that has rooms in it. Make it look like it has that Polynesian charm. I mean, this artwork just doesn't look like anything. I've been to Aulani, I've been to Hawaii, been to multiple islands. It doesn't. I don't understand how this celebrates the spirit of the Polynesian villages or the Pacific Islands. I don't get it.
Right.
So that's what I'm more upset about, Tim. I could get behind if it matched the resort. The Polynesian is one of the best resorts to walk around at night. When they light those torches and you walk around, I don't know how many times Jen and I have walked around that part of the resort where it's quiet over there. There's no. The walkway to like Shades of Green is over there, so there's really nobody ever over there. And now you're just going to flood it with like something that doesn't match. It's just going to be super congested. And honestly, like that monorail, I mean, how much more can that monorail even take?
Right.
I mean, that's the thing too. So you're really making an area really congested. So like I said, I have mixed emotions on this. I understand the people who own it, the Polynesian, who like to stay there, who maybe need that larger room that's not really available to them right now. But at the same time, it just doesn't fit in with the aesthetics of anything over there. And it's a little frustrating. I'm a little sad about it. It's kind of settled in now. It's kind of the inevitable, but I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts about it? I mean, I appreciate Tim letting me get on my soapbox. And you know, I try to be nice about it, but I'm not a fan of just the design. It's reflections recycled. It's all it is.
Well, Joe, if you take away the palm trees, it looks like a Homewood Suites.
Yeah.
You know.
And I don't interrupt. You know what it looks like? It looks like the Royal Pacific over at Universal. It's a Lowe's hotel.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Okay. I'll say it looks like it has a rooftop restaurant, I'm sure. Rooftop restaurant / lounge. I'm guessing suites on the top floor, but there's not a whole lot to tell but from this artist rendering, which, you know, I don't know how much credit we can put in there. Hopefully they're still tweaking. Let's just say that.
Well, I guess the thing to take note of is that because it's Disney, you probably won't actually have to worry about seeing it for another like 15 years.
There you go.
They're going to build this guy. You know, Rebecca, they'll take them 6 years to build Tron, but they'll get this up in a year and a half.
That's because it's a moneymaker.
Exactly. I got to get that into the parks budget.
And honestly, don't you think that's a lot of the reason why they're gone from the model of building new resorts and going to expanding resorts, because they can do things quicker.
So
my biggest struggle, you know, and you gave me some even more insight, Joe. I have a problem with this to some extent. I get it. Only being able to do a studio, that was always a weird one there. But my fear for this is the way it's going to, because that looks like a large expansion. Did they ever say the total number of rooms? I don't think they've actually come out and said, have they?
I don't know if they said it exactly, but it's definitely a couple hundred rooms. I mean, it's not.
It's going to be more than that. Look at the size of the building.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized building. And honestly, man, like it's gonna butt up against the existing longhouses over there. It's not a ton of room there. People think it's like this vast space, and it's like, think about it. You're gonna have parking there as well. Parking is already at a premium at the Polynesian. I mean, where are you gonna park these people that like are DVC resort guests in the main parking lot? I mean, the Polynesian's a very, very busy resort as it is. And think about this, guys. That resort has been under construction more than any resort. Think about the last 10 years. How many refurbs it's gone through. It's had more construction walls than Epcot.
Yeah. Well, so back to what I was saying, though, my concern is that it's going to overload it. And you're nailing it. Parking, monorail, restaurants, everything that has to do with the poly that exists now. Yeah, they'll probably add another restaurant up there, but it's just that many more people that are going to be right there that will have to use the same facilities of the original poly as well. And I'm just nervous about all this happening and just adding more and more people into the same resort and creating bottlenecks and overload for their facilities and things. That's my biggest concern.
It's already challenging for people to get on the monorail to Grand Floridian as things are now, I've noticed. So I can only imagine that getting worse. I mean, imagine paying Grand Floridian money and not being able to get in the first monorail that comes by.
I have said that before. If I was paying Grand Floridian or Poly money and I couldn't get on the monorail at will, I would be a very angry person.
What they honestly need to do is, if you go back and you geek out like I do sometimes, the resort monorail used to not stop at the TTC.
Mm-hmm.
It used to bypass the TTC. So if you want to bypass the TTC and not let people park at the Magic. And listen, I'm guilty of this. I get on the resort monorail sometimes when the express is backed up. But honestly, maybe you need to like wall off some cars or just be for resort guests only. I mean, that might be one of the things you have to do. And unless you're going from the Magic Kingdom where you have a dinner reservation, okay, then you could board the resort monorail from there. But the fact that, like, how many times, like I said, I agree with you. You stay at the Grand Floridian and like every car is packed. You're like, really? Like,
I don't know if you remember.
Look,
I was just going to say, way back in the day, to even get on a bus or a boat or a monorail, you actually had to show your resort ID card. You had to do that for probably decades. Back in the day, you had to show that little card.
To the 80s or 90s, Tim, I think that was. Because I remember doing it as a kid. I used to hold up my Grand Floridian, like, Grand Plan card to get on the monorail, like, after park close.
Yep. I wonder if that'll be coming back.
There's any reason. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason you couldn't just take the TTC stop out as far as actually stopping there, because there's from a functional perspective, you don't really, if you're staying at one of the resort, if you're staying at the monorail, at the Poly or the Grand Floridian, you don't really need to take the TTC. It's walkable. The TTC is walkable from the Poly and under most circumstances. So I understand there are some people that can't walk it, but most people can walk that. So, and overall, the Poly, I think it's the same problem that I do have with the Grand Floridian. I cannot talk tonight, but and I promise to get into that in our second story. But it's kind of like these places with the expansions are kind of like stock splits, where okay, it seems great, but you can't just sort of make up new components. When people bought these things, and I'm not saying it's misrepresentative because I haven't read the contract, so I'd have to reread it to make sure. But like you're adding a bunch of rooms and you're diluting the value of the current ones if they're not the same blend of rooms that you've got. So the people that bought at the Poly bought knowing that they had studios and bungalows, and the people at the Grand Floridian bought knowing that they had this particular blend of rooms. And so once you add a bunch more into the mix, we're going to be, as a Grand Floridian owner, you're going to be suddenly, there's going to be a flood of studios, and anybody who's buying those Grand Floridian points are in the same pot for anybody who is looking at 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, and there are no more 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms being added. And so in the same way, Grand and Poly, you have people that purchased for studios and bungalows, and now there's going to be these other room types that are being added, and there's just not as much of a proportionate amount of studios being added and bungalows being added. So it's kind of like there's going to be more competition for the unique room types then.
I'm sorry, I actually stopped listening when you said you had a problem with the Grand Floridian.
What?
I figured you had
to stop spinning there for a moment.
Which Emily is this?
I said it.
Who are you and
Here's
what
the
are you
thing. You're letting more people in. That's the problem. Did I recover? Did I recover nicely?
No, because I heard.
Disclaimer that says the thoughts and views of our attendees are not necessarily the thoughts and views of ResortLoop.com.
Thank you for the disclaimer. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let's go to story number 2. Emily, why don't you pick it up as long as your foot's in your mouth?
Who is that? There's room for one more.
Oh, where'd you go?
That's so true. Sorry. No, I stand by it, guys. I do. So story number 2 we've got here tonight is the DVC villas at the Grand Floridian.
Ooh.
They've gone on sale to the public on March 31st, and it includes 200 proposed resort studios. So again, that's 200 just studios. The new resort studio accommodations, they're not the same thing as those deluxe studios. They are expected to open in late June of 2022. And in addition to those new accommodations, they are also adding, let's see, wait, oh, I think that, no, they're not adding any others. 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, or 3 bedrooms, which I did mention just a minute ago in my mini rant there. And Bill Dickerson has said that DVC is pleased to offer a diverse inventory of accommodations at the villa at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, a spectacular location cherished by our members and their families. They also talk about the enhancement coming at a very special time at the 50th anniversary. The resort studios are going to have 2 queen-size beds and a day bed, quartz countertops, luxury tile, a beverage center with beverage cooler and coffee maker, a gleaming bathroom with marble tile floors, and refurbished deluxe studios accommodate up to, actually this says refurbished deluxe studios, but I think they mean resort studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, they accommodate up to 5 guests and feature a size bed, a new pull-down queen-size bed, and a pull-down bunk for the little ones. And so, I guess this is referencing the refurbishment. So there are going to be refurbishing too. And these, I think that the notes about the refurbishment that I'm seeing are basically just, I don't see any actual differences in the refurbished strategy here, but they look the same to me, but just in case I'm missing something, the 1 and 2 bedroom villas will include a full kitchen, large living areas, which will also feature a new pull down queen size bed. Oh, maybe that's different. And a pull down bunk size bed that folds away to be hidden beneath the media center. The 1 bedroom will sleep up to 5. The 2 bedroom will accommodate up to 9. And a new design is going to greet families in the 3 bedroom grand villas. There's going to be up to 12 still there, and including 2 bedrooms with 2 queen size beds, in addition to a primary bedroom featuring a king size bed. A dining area will adjoin the living room, and an additional queen size sleeper sofa will be there as well. So I do think the beds in the 1 and 2 bedrooms have never been fold down. So this is new, if indeed they're going to do the pull down. So it sounds like Riviera, which I actually do really like those pull down beds. The only thing is, it almost sounds like the pull downs are going to be, those are going to be in the living area. So those will be instead of those sofa beds, which I totally do approve of, because I actually do want to put one of those in our house. I love those beds that are couches at the same time. Like, so cool. But man, refurbishment aside, I will tell you my opinion on this, whether you like it or not. It's just, I don't love the idea of putting these resort studios. I hope a bunch of people buy with the intention of staying in those studios, but they're not going to have real kitchens. They're going to be, they have a different room style. So you're going to have the queens, is it doubles? No, I'm sorry, 2 queen size beds. It's a limited room type, and it's extremely expensive for points. So I fear that a bunch of people are going to buy in. They're going to have the exact same points competing for the 1 and 2 bedrooms. And people are going to basically view this as sort of a reissuance of DVC rooms at the Grand. And as we all, if you do buy early in your family cycle, you tend to grow into bigger and bigger rooms. And hey, Joe, even you guys could start going into 1 bedrooms just because one of you starts snoring or something.
Yeah, but the one good thing about these rooms, Emily, this is a legacy Grand Floridian building. These rooms are like, I did a little bit of research. They're 440 square feet, so they're on the larger size for like a studio. Because just to give everybody some numbers, the average size for a value is 260 square feet. A moderate's 314. Deluxe DVC villas, they average like between 365 square feet. That's like, so it's larger than a standard like Saratoga room or beach club room or boardwalk, villa room. And what I'm saying? So like these are on the larger side, which is actually, I think they'll be pretty popular, because the cabins and some of the other larger, grand villas, they start at 500 up to 2,800 square feet. So these are gonna be pretty big for a studio. I mean, I
hope you're right.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing too is these actually fit the resort, so they're not building some ugly building in the middle of beautiful Grand Floridian. So I'm a little less offended by this. So, but I think size-wise, though, I think it'd be nice to have a little bit of extra space.
I know it's probably splitting hairs a little bit, but thinking along the line of what you're saying, Emily, while they're going to be big, and that's great, and people will try those and they'll enjoy them. But the 1-bedroom and the 2-bedroom technically are, in a way, are going to be bigger because of the change of the. I guess technically not, because if they're going to do it over the couch with the fold-up couch, it's not any larger. If they were taking out a bed and putting in a Murphy bed, it would make more square footage. But I just think, I hope Joe's right. I'm nervous that Emily is.
Yeah, I'll be happy to be wrong. And Joe, I totally agree with you about the poly, but I will tell you something interesting. I am not going to buy any more Grand Floridian points. But I am now interested in potentially getting some poly points if the rooms are okay. And you're right, they're not inspiring yet. But now we're talking about a resort my family could use. Not just the studios are just too small as our kids get bigger and louder. And Matt does not want to go on vacation if we all have to be in the same room for a week.
You got a full house though. It's like, so you've got
We need at least a 1-bedroom. And honestly, we accidentally tasted 2 bedrooms recently. One was just an upgrade at, where was it? I think it was Beach Club. Oh no, Riviera. They upgraded our room without any notice at all. I was like, I didn't book this. And then I looked, and sure enough, I had booked a 1-bedroom and they gave us a 2. And it was, I'm telling you, my kids were just like, this is amazing. And I'm like, this is also amazing. You're so far away. So it's, so the poly suddenly, but I totally agree with you, Joe. Like that area, I'm a huge Spirit of Aloha fan. I've probably been more than most human beings. And that whole area is just so romantic and like dark and gorgeous, and the torches at night. And I'm not trying to rip on Bay Lake Tower, but if it's anything like this, if it's just like an added building, I mean, I haven't actually even looked at the images. I'm afraid to, but like, if it doesn't look like the longhouses, like, just don't. It looks like
reflections, Emily. It looks like reflections.
Yeah, that's no good. I don't like. Please, I'm sick of the towers. I'm sick of these like giant towers that are supposed to magically be like, well, it's a tasteful tower in the middle of your Polynesian village. Like, no. I don't think they have one of those in Bora Bora. I could be wrong.
That's awesome. I love that.
I don't think they have one of those in Bora Bora.
Awesome.
Anyway, sorry. I'll stop.
A 10-story tower made with bamboo.
Yes.
Well, I guess if you're excited to like purchase this new tower, you may be getting some kind of like gift with your purchase, Rebecca, right?
I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope you're not investing all that money just to get, property and Disney vacations for life.
Hope you're not making a rational decision. What's free with purchase?
So that is a wonderful segue for my story for the evening, which that I will probably have never partaken of because I don't actually own. I just rent, and renters don't get swag. Just FYI. But however, the gifting is changing, so to speak. And after many years of gifting buyers backpacks and tote bags to celebrate the purchase, DVC has shifted to a new gift package. Over the years, it has been customary for DVC to reward buyers with exclusive backpacks or totes to help manage those theme park essentials. Is that a reward, or is it more of like a bribe? I don't know. I'm confused. DVC has decided to change things up in 2022 with a new pack, which includes, drumroll please, reusable metal water bottle, a cooling towel, and a pair of refrigerator magnets. Now,
yes.
Do not confuse these with car magnets, friends, because they will be stolen immediately. So these are refrigerator magnets only. The bottle is gold with silhouettes of Disney characters and DVC resorts, emblazoned with the words Disney Vacation Club member. And I think in small print it says, I am better than you. I'm not sure. Maybe Emily can confirm.
It's implied.
The ones for the grands do. Yeah, the grand ones do, for sure.
The cooling towel is white with gold lettering and reads, stay cool year after year. The refrigerator magnets, again, I cannot stress refrigerator magnets enough, feature the same Mickey Mouse design as a recent member giveaway, although they're not clear which member giveaway that is. So the giveaways are sent with any size, new or add-on purchase, made direct from Disney Vacation Club, typically arriving a few weeks after the transaction is complete. So what this is saying is, if you choose to pay for your DVC points, you will be rewarded with these very cool items. I guess my biggest complaint about this is one of the things I have always loved about DVC, and particularly as this pertains to Joe, is Joe loves his swag. And so I always used to love to see like what specific DVC swag Joe would be sporting. And so and honestly, even as a renter or as just a DVC or a Disney goer, I love to get like the very resort specific items. And so I don't know about the actual members, but as a renter even, and as just a potential buyer, I was a little disappointed to hear that these were sort of homogenized items and that there wasn't a lot of it wasn't very specific to the resort. I was hoping that they might come out with something more specific to each DVC resort. So that's just one person's opinion who will probably never see these, but still.
Well, if you've got a family the size of Emily's, you have to buy 5 or 6 contracts so everybody gets their own water bottle.
Oh my God. Can you imagine the arguments with her kids?
Don't touch my bottle.
I want it.
I can imagine those arguments.
You know what's funny about swag, though? I'm sorry, I'm late to jump by. You know what's funny about swag is when I was in Disney for Springtime Surprise Weekend, I went to go use my DVC membership card. I still use the old one because the one on the phone, it's just a mess to constantly pull it up. And the lady's like, "Oh no, trust me, I see your hat, I see your magic band, all that stuff. I believe you're a Disney Vacation Club." But they literally are telling the cast members to not take the legacy cards anymore. That you have to pull it. So it's like, instead of giving out this crap, why don't you just print everybody DVC cards we could actually use? I would just take that, spend the money there. But
right.
What if it linked it to your magic band or something?
They said they need to see if it's if you bought direct or resale. That's
okay.
what they're looking for.
Oh yes, I forget, because if you buy resale, you do not get the same privileges.
No. So, and by the way, Rebecca, I still have multiple hats. I try to mix them up. So
I love it. I miss seeing that.
Resale. Could have way back. I did on my second contract, but I'm with you. I don't do away with our card. It's a pain. But I actually had them do that to me, Joe, and they said they took my card because I was like, just look at the card.
Well, the same cast member told me that they're trying to get rid of all the cards. They're trying to get rid of I said, I got my annual pass. They're like, yeah, give it a year or two. They're gonna stop issuing annual pass cards. They're gonna go away. Everything on the phone.
Give me a card.
Yeah. Well, so what I was saying was, they took my card and they said, "Look right there, sir. Expires."
So did they not give it back, Brad?
No, they did, but they said, "But you can't. This won't work. It's an expired card."
Oh, because I was about to say, I do not remember hearing about this fight in Disney.
It's funny because
they're very much committed to it. You're right, Joe.
I hope I'm glad they're getting a little bit universal about that, though, because I brought my card as an afterthought, but at a couple of places they were asking for the card and they were not sure how to work the phone thing when we went. But also my concern with going with everything digital is that really puts the onus on the park goer to just have their phone on them at all times. Yes. And you're now responsible for providing an access device that holds all of your stuff, and from
having battery charged, which is quite frankly my biggest problem.
Yeah, so if your phone dies, you can't get your DVC discount. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I purposely let my phone die sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Just carry around your water bottle, and you're good. That's the gold water bottle. You're a direct purchase.
There you go.
This is right. Willy Wonka moment, golden ticket. Yeah.
I got to say one more thing about this. Does anybody let's take a step back. Does anybody think that these gifts are cheesy? Like hats, golf shirts. I just spent 30 grand on a contract. Like, I proudly wear my DVC member golf shirt. I have 4 Saratoga Spring golf shirts. Like, I wear them proudly. I bought my contract. I'm Saratoga Joe. I love the place, right? I wear my DVC hats everywhere. It's like, give something that the members can wear and like advertise your brand. I mean, like, I get it. It's cheaper to produce that stuff. It comes out of a separate budget, you know, for like marketing. I get it. But like, hats are not that expensive. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, if you're ordering this stuff in bulk, let me tell you something. When I joined the, I'm a DVC golf member for Disney Golf with Arnold Palmer Golf. I'm member number 1. I talked about that before. I'm very proud of that. For $99 a year, I get a golf shirt. I got like a hat before. I got some really cool swag for like really cheap. I got some nice embroidered DVC golf member shirts. It says, you know, it's white, says Disney Vacation Club, and the sleeve says golf member. Great stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that you should be giving away. Advertise the product. I mean, listen, everybody's got magnets. They just get stolen. They get lost. I got 400 magnets in my fridge. It's like, they don't even excite me anymore. Like, it's kind of sad. But show me a new golf shirt. Like, I actually found a Contemporary Resort golf shirt. I've been waiting for that for years. Whoever the general manager was of the Contemporary, thank you for finally listening. I was so excited to buy that shirt finally. I went in there for about 10 years. Like, that makes me excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, a cooling towel's not gonna make me excited. Get stuff that people are gonna wear, show it off. You know, that's what they really need to do, in my opinion.
Or actually is start watching your local Salvation Army and Goodwill for water bottles.
Yeah, they'll be.
Yeah.
Here's the other side. The other side of the coin is when I was out this last trip, I met somebody buy DVC swag where you're buying it in the shops, and I was there irritated like I usually am, because I'm on the flip side of this. Don't make me pay for you to advertise. I don't get any of their swag. I gave them my money, and I that's just the way I feel, Joe. I love DVC, but I'm not wearing their stuff for free ad. It's like, it just feels rude to me. Give me one-time use points. But anyway, I was standing there with a guy, and he hadn't heard our show, but he might be watching and listening today. Hi, Michael, if you are out there. But he just started venting, saying, I just don't understand why you want to give me this advertisement when I spend $30,000 with you, and then you want me to go to the park and spend another, $200 on stuff instead of buying Mickey shirts. I just don't get it. And that's the other side of it. Some people look at it and go, really? Just give me one-time use points. Give me something of physical value when I buy a contract rather than advertising. But anyway.
I have one other perspective on this, and that is that those bags are not necessarily very well made. Yeah. And I know this because my bag broke. Oh. The handle broke off. And so I actually reached out to our guide, I think, and asked if I could get a replacement bag. And they did give me they said, I'm sorry, we have different bags now. We'll send you one of those. So I wonder, and that bag wasn't super well made either. I haven't broken it yet, but it's only a matter of time. But so I wonder also if the members are sort of really attached to their bag, and then when they can't get a replacement, or they, if the quality is poor and then they keep getting asked for replacements, if that isn't sort of an issue, because it kind of reflects poorly on the brand if you're buying like cheapo tote bags that the handle break off of. And I don't know, that was my other thought, is that maybe they're having problems with supply chain for quality merch that they can afford to give out.
Right.
Fits within their budget, let's say that.
Absolutely. All right, Brad, let's move on to story number 4.
Yeah, I was going to segue that. Say, I just got off of my first cruise back since COVID, and got out on the Disney Fantasy for 7 nights. And man, I forgot how much I love cruising. It was amazing. We were on the Fantasy, the first trip where no more masks on board, except for if you're in a young kids area, you'd have to wear them around the small kids who may not be vaccinated. Fireworks at Sea came back. The Rainforest Pass came back, so you could book it for the whole cruise, which we did. There was a bunch of it. The crew was so excited. So many things came back. And so for those of you that the only thing left now is to get on that new Disney Wish. That's my only ship left I got to do now.
Yeah.
If you're a DVC member and you're still bitter from when you didn't get an email like I didn't, We've already heard me vent about that. Owned for 14 plus years, and I never get the emails, it seems like. So I didn't hear the first offer when they offered the Disney Wish cruises for DVC members. Well, when they had to move the cruises, they had to move them both back because there was a COVID breakout in the shipyard. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's actually what's supposedly slowed down the production. So they moved the cruises, and now the cruise that's going out on July 19th, it is a DVC members only cruise, and it now has availability on it. It was sold out, but now a bunch of people that couldn't move it when they moved the date, there is some availability. It is limited. I was actually looking at it the other day, and when they say it's limited, I was surprised how many cabin types were still available. So, but it could be there's very few of those. But I could have booked pretty much every cabin type, except for the really high in demand ones. But it's a 3-night adventure cruise to the Bahamas. It's a different one where it does not go to Nassau, like the normal 3 nights will do. It goes from Port Canaveral, and it does a day at sea. Then it goes to Castaway Cay, and then it goes home. So I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's what the 3 nights do. It's the 4-night that does the Nassau. But anyway.
Is it still open only to Disney Vacation Club members?
Correct. It's only available now. It originally scheduled. It is now available to book, and I'm looking to see. I think there was a date they said where it might open up, but it says on May 24th. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the next story. Yeah, I don't know that for sure. I thought for sure I read somewhere where it right now it's only available to DVC, but that it might open up. But I kind of doubt that it will, only because the last two, when it was made to DVC members and it opened up, they were gone in a day. Both ships were just like booked. So I think it's just a matter of DVC members getting the word and getting back on new ones, getting on board and booking those out, because they were already a lot of members missed it the first time.
Yeah. Do you book it through? I also missed that. Do you book it through the DVC site, or do you book it through the cruise site?
Yeah,
the DVC site.
DVC, and you can do it with points and or you can do it with cash. I think when the first cruise was going out, they were requiring the inaugural cruise that a certain percentage had to be purchased with points. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's what I heard. But on this one, they said either way. So it's 170 for the least expensive. It's 177 reservation points per person for the inside stateroom. The 6C is not available, and one of the family ones you can't book. So it's 177 points per person, or $1,505 per person for a standard inside stateroom. So
nice.
It still has that $95 booking fee that you do with DVC when you book anything through them using points or money. So anyway, so it departs on the 19th, and we'll come back on the 22nd. And if you want to get out on the new Disney Wish, jump on it quick.
That will be a fun cruise. I think Emily's going to look into that.
Yeah.
But I'm booked in August, so I may not switch.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Let's see. That takes us to our last story. Hey, Joe, why don't you read that last one for us, since you started us off today?
All right. So after a 2-year pandemic hiatus, Moonlight Magic has returned for Disney Vacation Club members. The popular member perk gives qualifying members free late-night admission to a Disney park with reduced crowds, exclusive character appearances, and free snacks and refreshments. On May 24th, June 16th, and July 14th of 2022, eligible DVC owners will enjoy exclusive late-night access to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Guests with hotel reservations on event nights can register beginning on April 20th, which is 7 days from when we're taping this. Remaining access will open to all other members on May 10th, 2022. Registration is expected to begin at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on both dates. In recent years, DVC has utilized a virtual queue system that randomly assigns a place in line to all parties who are logged on at the registration start time. A confirmed resort reservation at Walt Disney World or Disney's Vero Beach Resort is required in order to register on April 20th. Hotel reservations must be finalized by April 17th. In order to qualify for the early window, members should receive an email by April 19th with event registration details. Members are limited to one Moonlight Magic event per theme park in 2022. Members must qualify for membership extras in order to attend, and party size is limited to the member plus 4 guests or the total capacity of their resort room, whichever is higher. And for all the details, see DVC's 2022 Moonlight Magic information. A couple things about this. Number one, it's open to back to the whole grandfather thing. This is some of the perks that you get for being a legacy blue card member and not the other card. Which also it kind of stinks too. You have to have the resort reservation. I remember Emily, correct or Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember going to one of these events once. I believe I didn't have one a reservation, but maybe they changed it. I'm not 100% sure. But you have to have the reservation, which kind of stinks because being a local now, I could just like pop down. But it also kind of makes sense too because if you have a lot of locals who are DVC members, but you have DVC members who are out of town and staying at the resorts, it does kind of make sense. It'd be nice if they had a little pool for like everybody else. And they could have a small,
They actually do and even in the release they mentioned that they did do it. It on the sales begin on April 20th for DVC members who have a reservation.
Yeah, it's gonna fill up. So it's
remaining access will open to members on May 10th. So in other words, it'll open up to them who don't have reservations if they're members. There won't be any left.
They're not going to be anything left. And what I'm curious about, Brad, is, and you guys, is it's at Disney's Hollywood Studios, which is a great park to have this at. But will Rise be open? Like, what will be open? Is it going to be just Sunset Boulevard? Are they going to do Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower, maybe some Toy Story Land? But are they going to have Galaxy's Edge open? Is Rise going to be open for this late night event? I don't know. I would be surprised if it wasn't. I'm saying they kind of tone it back a little bit. We'll see what happens, but it's a great park to have it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like Sunset Boulevard, maybe Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and like maybe like Toy Story Land. And I wouldn't be surprised if Galaxy's Edge is off limits. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they end up doing.
I don't remember how long ago it was, but they had the pay where you could pay for the party, same kind of thing, but you purchase a ticket, after party ticket.
Yep.
And you got everything free, same kind of model. And when we did that for Hollywood Studios, we did Star Rise and everything was open.
Okay, well that's good.
Maybe they'll still do it. I don't know, but they did do it for those parties.
It's a small park, so I'm thinking, you can't have everybody on like Sunset Boulevard on one side, so it defeats the purpose. But
expecting there. Well, just in case anybody wants to know, May 24th, that's my birthday. So those of you out there that want to, buy me a trip, so go down and just
celebrate.
Absolutely.
I'll be very grateful.
I love it. That's where we did our Moonlight Magic with Hollywood Studios, and it was when Toy Story Land was new, and it was really fun. We didn't stay as long as we could have because we had a kid mishap, but we got a bunch of free food, and it was just a really fun time.
Yeah, it's cool that these things are coming back. I mean, these are the things that we lost a couple years ago when everything in the Disney parks just stopped. So this is like, look, they don't have to do this. They had an excuse to like not bring this back, even though it's a member perk and it's kind of coming out of. I don't know if this comes out of the marketing budget or not. I don't know like which budget it comes out of. I don't think this comes out of our dues budget. I think it's a separate one. But they don't have to do this. So as much as we complain about DVC and how things are run, at least I do. I'm critical. Listen, I love DVC. I love my Saratoga Springs, but I'm critical about what they're doing. But it's nice that they do these. They don't have to do this. And they do it. So it's like, I'll take whatever we get. Even though I can't attend, at least there are members who can attend. And maybe we'll make their vacations like that much better. So that's the way I kind of see it. They can say, yep, we're not doing this anymore. That's it. We're done. And it goes away. So glad it's back.
It's still nice to be able to say, hey, I may not be able to go, but I could.
True.
It's true.
Free because I'm a DC member.
Yeah, I swear it's like really good advertisement for more points too.
Yeah, totally.
Because you just want to be like, you're like, oh, I could just drop in for the weekend, or oh, I could just drop in for that. Like if I could just get a reservation that night,
Absolutely.
Sorry, that was the frozen pizza. In case you didn't hear that beep, I'm just calling myself out.
I was worried it was my power supply.
Right. No, the great thing is we didn't hear the children come in. So all of you, I've been working that mute button like a champ.
Oh, they're angels. They're angels.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us for the DVC Roundtable show. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Good to be back, Timmy.
Awesome.
Back.
Awesome.
So good. Thank you for having me and my pizza.
Thank you for sharing your pizza. I'll be right over. Rebecca, where can somebody find you or talk to you if they'd like to?
Well, I think that I am entering civilization again. So you can find me on Twitter at Tequila Becca. You can find me on Facebook at Resort Loop Live. You can find me on Instagram occasionally. However, much to my excitement, you can find me at Disney World next week.
Yay!
We want pictures and a report back. All right?
That's right.
You just share the magic.
I am not going to take pictures of me crying because it has been 2 years since I've been there.
Aw.
Yeah, she's gonna make a beeline for Epcot and go to La Cava. So
You're not wrong. But my
I know you too well.
A girls only mother-daughter trip on the first trip she has been able to make since she was legal drinking age. So very much looking forward to that. We're celebrating her new job as a science teacher.
Awesome.
Amazing she's that old.
Congratulations.
Going when only teachers can go during spring break.
Rebecca,
True.
it's just amazing that she's that old, but you're not.
I know. At some point, I actually think I will be younger than her.
I think so.
You are, yeah. For sure.
So if you see me walking around, give me a shout. I'll buy you a drink.
Oh, good to know.
Okay.
Emily,
That's
where
it.
can people
Flying.
find you?
I'm flying.
Emily's on her way down.
Yes, flying. Yes, if Becca's buying, it's happening. So I can be found working this mute button on Looper Nation Live. I can be found holed up working to make more money for the next Disney trip. And let's see where else. I promised once that we were going to have a big relaunch of something exciting. And I promise we're going to do that at some point. And Tim, we're going to talk Star Wars, the Galactic Star Cruiser soon. And, but I have done a couple of items, and you can hear me talk about the Grand Floridian on DVC Points podcast. So if you need a little bit of a tiny little moment away from Resort Loop just to make you appreciate us more, go ahead and check those episodes out. And so I think that's probably the extent of my CV at this point. So
fantastic. Brad Coates, where can somebody find you?
So yeah, I'm lurking at ResortLoop.com on Facebook. If you want to reach out and have questions about the park or about the cruising and going on, papamouse101 at hotmail.com. Or you can find me at Family Fun Travels by Brad on Facebook, where I'm trying to earn more money so I can go back again because I'm done with trips now. That's four trips last year and 2 already this year, and so I think I'm maxed for a little while. So
I don't know, you're on a good pace. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Quattrochi, where can somebody find you?
Well, I always say Twitter. I'm never on Twitter, but I'm on Instagram at Joe Quad, on Facebook at Quad Joe. It's good to be back on the book for the last year or so. You can find me over at the DDP Today Show, where I also have my own show, Split Stays, where I talk about DVC and resorts and just kind of take a little in-depth into that over there. And every once in a while, I make a cameo over at the Mickey Dudes. It's just real life gets in the way, and there's only so much time to record every week. But I'm on Mickey Dudes every once in a while as well. So we have a good time over there with those guys. So give us a listen over there as well.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. I love the Roundtable shows. Lots of good information out there, and we had lots of fun. Always good to see everybody. Everybody, I'm Tim Scott. Facebook, Twitter. I don't know why I say Twitter, but I do also. The website, ResortLoop.com. Looper Nation Live over at Facebook. Everybody, you've been listening to the Gateway to the Magic. Go get them, Gary. Guys, take it away.
See you, everybody.
Vacation memories will stay with you and your family for a lifetime. The Resort Loop Travel Group was created with this in mind. Our fee-free services will relieve you of the stress and confusion of finding and booking the best vacation at the best price. After booking, we will continue to monitor for ways to save you even more on your vacation. We will check for any upcoming packages and discounts to save you as many vacation dollars as possible. Resort Loop Travel Group, gateway to your magical vacation memories. Get a quote, or for more information, visit ResortLoopTravelGroup.com.